Good morning and welcome to the Brick by Brick podcast with Ronald Pauleus. We talk all things mindset and real estate and we look at principles here on this podcast that we all could take advantage of to build lives worth living brick by brick. And this morning, what I want to do with you is go through an honest reflection and process some things I'm learning on a renovation project I'm doing, rental, and see what lessons we can extract from that we can implement in life. It's real interesting these days. I'm in the I'm knee deep in about 5 projects. 2 rentals are getting ready to be listed to be ready for rent. 2 more are under construction. One's going through permits. And then my fix and flip is getting ready to be done in a couple weeks or so. So super excited about it. Now, I want to share some lessons I'm learning on this one rental. Bought it from a lady who was in foreclosure. Her property was going up for auction here on, it was Thursday or something. It's going to happen in a couple weeks. And I actually tried to get a hold of her at the beginning of her foreclosure process, and she really didn't contact me. It turns out later she told me that she was a procrastinator and she thought she could fix it on her own, and things just kept piling back. It was a snowball that kept going down, and it got bigger, got larger, and much faster. And then it was time for her to do something about it because her auction was coming up. So she called me because I was faithful. I was there up until the end. Well, ended up buying it from her and started renovations immediately. I painted my brick, and that's a new thing that's in style now. I got a new roof, all these different things. Well, a few weeks in, I got reported to the city. Yeah, fun times. And I can't prove it, but I think it was the lady I bought the house from because she is super technical, super anal and legal about things, and she whined and texted me all types of texts because she moved right across the street from the house I purchased from her. And she said to me several times, "Your guys are doing illegal things. They're on the curve and it's dangerous, and they're parked on the curve or in the parking or in the street, and it's dangerous, and they're driving on your grass. If they break something, you'll be liable." And I'm just it's like, lady, they got a truck and they're driving around because they're hauling trash. They're not gonna be doing this forever. Anyways, fast forward, I get reported, and I got to do all these things. Gotta pass a framing. Gotta pass mechanical for new HVAC system I put in, and electrical. All these things. I had a timeline. I had a budget, and I had a clear plan, and it was supposed to be it was probably going to be a 3-week renovation. The inside was not that bad. Lady was a hoarder, but this hoarder, all the stuff she accumulated protected the house. The walls I'm actually not going to paint the walls at all. She wasn't a smoker, so there's not a horrendous smell. She didn't have animals, so there's no pee or poop smell I got to try to get rid of. No stains anywhere. And it besides the vanity that's really ugly and nasty, I'm gonna have to get switched. Besides that, it's a pretty solid place. And so most of the work was going to be on a garage conversion. The brick that I painted, tree cut down, roof, those kinds of things. Popcorn ceiling, the old house, and then some flooring, lots of flooring. Well, I get reported, and this 3-week job that was supposed to be done in November of 25. November of 25. This was supposed to be done before Thanksgiving last year. It's February. This project is still not done. Still not done. And I am learning so much. I want to share a few things. You plan the best you can. You look at the numbers. You push forward. You okay, 2 weeks. Holding cost is going to be this much, and I'm going to be in and out. Boom, let's go. Murphy's Law. Anything that can go wrong will go wrong. I'm learning this. You just have to make sure you have more cash on hand than you think you need. Just more. Because my holding cost was going to be a month and a half because I had to renovate, and then I got one DSCR lender and a local bank who takes about a month to refinance me out and stabilize the portfolio, or the deal. So it'd been probably a month and a half. I would have, Lord willing, I would have gotten it rented in December and then stabilize it on long-term financing probably right before Christmas, or maybe even January, first week of January. And I would have had a month and a half of holding costs. Well, 2 months, just say. Now, I've had to pay November, December, January, February, and yes, I will be paying March. Because by the time, if I pass all my electrical inspections, I just walked this morning with my electrician, told me what it'd take and how long it'd be and yada, yada, yada. Well, he's going to have to pass 2 inspections, the rough and then the final. And so he's going to have to pass that and then get back to it. Well, that's going to be some time. Thankfully, I spoke to the electrician. He said, or the permit person, and he said they're about 1 day out. So if I call today for an inspection, they'll be out Tuesday to inspect. So that's really, really awesome. You just have to have more money than you expect and you think you'll need, because something will go wrong. It could be a $2,000 mistake, or it could be a $6,000 mistake. It could be a $10,000 mistake. I've already been saying to myself, this holding cost is now eating into my renovation money that I have for the other side of the house. Because mind you, the garage is, I've passed those inspections for the framing. I passed the mechanical. Now I got to pass electrical. And you're thinking to yourself, wait, you passed framing? Yeah, I did. Because this is what happened. I got, through some line of communication, the understanding that I didn't have to update any electrical or do any electrical since I had the plugs, or some plug, and lights. Well, it turns out, if you so much as think of updating the place, you got to update everything. So now I got to go back and after passing the framing, the wall's painted, the framing's insulated, it's all done. My electrician's going to go in and put holes in the wall. to get the electrical in there. It just is. It's fun being an entrepreneur. Have more money than you think. The other thing is, delay does not mean failure. It's so easy to say. And I've been tempted. I've been kept up at night. The first night I got the red notice on my rental, I thought somebody joked around and said, "Hey, you're gonna go to jail," and I thought, "Oh, I'm done." My first rental is the one that gets me to jail. Delay does not mean failure. In the process of life, in the journey of life, you'll go through so many things. You'll, so many things, so many learning curves, so many hurdles to jump, so many things to process. And if you have this vision and goal of, I want 10 rentals by this, I want to make this amount of monthly revenue. I want this much this year. This is a goal I want to achieve. I want to run a marathon. I want to do this or do that. As long as you're making progress, you're good. As long as you're making progress, you are good. Delay does not mean failure. It's okay. The inspections delaying things for me, the corrections, the alignment, making sure. But guess what? I'm still pushing forward. And entrepreneurship is an infinite game. Let me break down the difference between finite games and infinite games. Finite games are games where there are known opponents, known ways of keeping score, known ways of winning, and defined rules, boundaries, expectations. For instance, football's a finite game, meaning there are known players. The Seahawks will be playing the Patriots. I just saw that at my gym the other day. I was like, oh, wow, the Super Bowl's coming up. Or it's already passed. And then there are known rules and expectations. No pass interference. This is out of bounds. This is what you can do, what you can't do. Known ways to score. This end zone is how the Patriots will score, and this end zone is how the Seahawks will score. And then there are known time limits, meaning this game ends at this time. The clock runs out, we're all done. And there is a known winner. You are the winner. You are the loser. Finite games. Basketball, soccer, racing, finite games. Now, when it comes to business, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to relationships, those are infinite games, meaning the goal isn't to win. Football, the goal is to win because there is an agreed upon way in which someone wins. Infinite games are not about winning, they're about staying in the game long. And that's key. People get into infinite games thinking they will win. And on how can AT&T say they're the number one network provider? Who agreed upon the boundaries? Who agreed on the players? Because T-Mobile is now in the game. SpaceX might be entering the game, or not SpaceX, but SpaceX or what's the internet provider again? I think it is. Yeah, I think it's SpaceX. Anyways, anybody can say, "Hey, I'm going to start a phone carrier." Right? There's no known players. Anybody can drop in. Anybody can drop out. There are no known boundaries and rules. AT&T is the best number one provider. Where? In Europe? In Oklahoma City? In Oklahoma? Where? Right? They can define their own thing and say, we're the number one provider on Fiji Island. In fact, they're the only one providing service on Fiji Island. See, so finite games, the goal is to stay in the game long enough. And when you have that mindset shift, that allows you to play the game right. Because if you go in thinking, man, I'm gonna give it all my first quarter, second quarter, reserve energy in third, and then blow it in the fourth. Just go. You're gonna lose, right? I.e., because what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna be burnt out. You won't be in the game long enough. You won't be in the game long enough. That's what I've put into my real estate business as in living as an entrepreneur is that I need a this this delay doesn't mean failure. The goal is just to be in the game long enough. The other thing I'm learning on this renovation that's taking longer than expected is that stress comes from expectation gaps. You know, you can tell how hard you will be disappointed. Here's what you expect, right? Here's what you expect, and here's what you end up getting. That gap is called disappointment. You're expecting this pizza to be amazing. The bomb.com 5-star reviews, deep dish pizza. Everyone brags about it. There's a thing you got to try when you're in Chicago. And then you go to a store and you try it. And Little Caesars is better than what you got. Right? It's disappointment. And that's the same thing. Stress comes from the expectation gaps. You think this will take 2 to 3 weeks. And you're ready for that. You know it's going to be long. You know it's going to be 21 days. You got the money for it. Awesome. Perfect. Now it is 120 days, 121 days. And the stress comes from the extra 100 days you did not expect. So what I'm learning is you have to have the ability to suffer long. The Christians, the Bible call it long suffering. You got to have the ability to endure and just keep going and also build buffers, build expectations and say, okay, worst case scenario, this takes all 6 months that I've planned. Best case scenario, it takes you 3 weeks. My contractor told me it would take. I'm going to bet on the 6 weeks or the 6 months. And if it takes 3 weeks, I'll be gladly surprised. If it takes 4 months, 5 months, I'll be gladly surprised. If it takes 6 months, that's exactly what I expected. If it goes longer, okay, I gotta keep going. And here's the other thing I'm learning on this: the quality of the build matters more than the speed. I got solid contractors. And as we were doing this, the inspectors shared and said, hey, there's some things that the city requires. And sometimes we whine and cry about the city and this and that. And other times it's, well, I can see that. The house I bought from this lady, she already had a room that was converted. I guess it wasn't habitable, but it was extra living space, which is weird. It wasn't a bedroom, but it was living space. Anyways, in this said living space, the bottom of it, you could tell had mold at some point in time. It wasn't active, it was dormant, but you could tell it had mold at some point in time. Well, the inspector pointed out to me and said, that probably has mold because they didn't add the flashing that was required by the city. I thought to myself, oh, so those are the implications of not bringing things up to code. And so I've kind of said to myself, okay, the city's making me do this from their subjective understanding of things. They're saying, if I do this, this is protecting not just my asset, but it's protecting the people who are going to be living there to rent. If I didn't have flashing, which my contractor did put flashing, but the city wanted more, which is totally fine. I could spend $15 or $20 to get more flash. It's totally fine. $30, whatever it is. But it helped me realize and say, okay, the quality matters more than the speed. I would have been in and out in 3 weeks. Well, I would have had less flashing. Now I'm in and out now I'm going to be way more and I'm going to have flashing. Totally fine. Totally awesome. The other thing I'm learning about this is that delays reveal a character. There were many times, I told you the first night I got the red tape, somebody joked about me going to jail. I said to myself, this is the heart I chose. Everything has a heart. I could sit around and just continue to be a teacher, dealing with the kids I was dealing with at a school that was the worst high school in all of the state of Oklahoma. And I could then that'd be really hard. Kids cursing you out, walking out of your class, kids pepper spraying in the class. Yeah. Yeah. And Daniel Presley, he says this. He said, a W-2, a job, is an easy road that ends hard and bumpy. Entrepreneurship is a hard road that starts bumpy and then it ends off easy. And what he meant by that is, you get your W-2, you're in, you're interview, you got your degree, you're good. Boom, you're in, you're settling in, you get the groove of things, and boom. All right, yeah, we're going 20 years in, 10, 15. And then you're about to retire, or you're in your 40s, whatever it is, and AI comes, and now you don't have a job. Your department closes down for some reason. Private equity buys your business, and they want the business to be super lean because they're going to resell it in 5 years. So you started off real smooth and easy with a nice salary, pension, benefits, and matching contributions, this and that. And now it's all bumpy at the end because you got 20, 30 years being a manager at this, being a supervisor at that, having skills in this. And now you're in the workplace trying to get a job. And now, this is hilarious, but entry-level jobs now need experience. You need 2 years of experience in this role before you can start in our starter role. Entrepreneurship is super bumpy in the beginning. Super, super bumpy. I mean, it's scary. You're up at night. You're thinking you're going to go to jail because you started renovations on the property and this is that and that and this. And then you start to get settled. And then towards the end, you realize, oh, yeah, this is what I wanted. I made it. And I got 15 stabilized rentals paid off and they're funding my life. And let's just say they're $1,000 each. I'm bringing in $15,000 a month. Just put a few systems in, get a place for the tenant to send in work orders and maintenance requests, and I'm chilling. It's a bumpy road at the beginning, but it ends off easy if you stick to it. And that's why it's so vital, and it's so vital you choose your heart, or your heart will choose you. It will. It will. Mark my words, 10, 15 years from now, you will look back and you'll say, man, I should have started in whatever entrepreneurship journey I should have been. Because what I try to communicate in the Brick by Brick podcast is that Life, to have a life worth living, you gotta build it brick by brick, and you gotta start now, and you gotta be consistent and faithful, because you think it's heavy now laying bricks. Wait until you're placed in a situation where you have to put the bricks down. You gotta go to dialysis because you didn't take care of your health. You got to go get 2, 3 jobs because you didn't start entrepreneurship. You didn't gather skills. You didn't build content. You didn't do whatever was needed to start building other ways of making money, other ways of being marketable, other ways of bringing value in the marketplace. All you're doing is choosing the pain of discipline now, or choosing the pain of regret later. You're thinking, man, that's deep, dude. This is supposed to be about a delayed project. It is. Why are you delaying starting?